Hello, I'm NP. So, TT Isle of Man 2025 happened last week. Considering practice, the last 2 weeks. I've been a fan for quite a while, and man, this year was absolutely amazing. But instead of speaking about the best and the top motor racing event of the year, well, it may happen sometime. Maybe I will do a video about it somewhere in the future. But anyway, besides the actual race, place number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, there is a special achievement, a sort of milestone of speed. Running a lap time under 17 minutes and 25 seconds. That means the 37.73 miles long course with a 130 miles per hour average speed. For metric system, it's almost 210 kph on average. The very first rider who could reach such a speed was John McGuinness in 2007. Many riders joined this club, and by today it counts more than 20 riders. So in the sim, that's what I'll be trying to do today. I know it's much easier in the sim and it takes considerably less balls than in real life. Also, I guess over, 10,992 players have already reached that speed. Still, it will be quite an achievement for me, personally. Some of you guys following my channel may already know that I like TT Isle of Man riding on the Edge 2. I posted a couple of videos that I recorded during my career championship mode playing this game. My first season wasn't the best, but the second I could win the championship. Some would think that okay, from this point it's easy to have a good run on the TT mode in this game, right? Well, no. In the championship I used a 600cc Supersport Honda, one of the best handling bikes in this game. Nimble, light, very friendly and accessible. So despite the fact that it's possible in this game to enter the 130 club with a Supersport bike, in the reality the guys could do it only on a Superbike, the big one, 1000cc over 230 brake horsepower. So my problem is to reach the 130 club is that this bike is so much heavier than the Supersport. So the braking points are different, the markers are different, the lines are different, basically everything is different. You have to relearn everything from the start. Honestly, I have no clue how the guys can do it in the real life. Riding a Supersport, then a Super Stock or Superbike, then a Super Twin. These are completely different machines, so I have no idea. These guys are incredible. So at this point, recording this video, this run of mine, I completely admit that I've been trying it for weeks. After winning the championship in a 600cc Supersport, while switching to a Superbike was just like a crash fest. Well, I completely admit I own my mistakes too. So, well, if you like my Dirt Rally 2.0 rally videos, you can see a lot of crashes and close calls and stuff like this. Well, I won 3 club championships in this game, but reaching the point when you can consistently finish a race, reach the finish line at race speed, and bring the car home in one piece, well, it takes some time. Definitely has a long learning curve before. So anyway, let's see, me versus a big bike, gunning for a 130 club lap on the TT Isle of Man course. finally, after weeks of crashing the big bike, finished 130 lap. It's not perfect by any mean, and it's just kinda sorta fast-ish. There is so much room for improvement. And most definitely 25,922 players have already gone faster than me, I guess. But anyway, for now I'm absolutely happy with it. I think it's something I can build on. Man, this game is a blast. And be out, see you somewhere in time.